Hey, this is Vision and you're watching Skateboard in California, and I am here at Venice Beach Skate Park in Venice, California to introduce you to the Bustin Boards. Let's show it this way, shall we? The Bustin Boards Yoface deck. Bustin is actually a very well-respected longboard company from New York City, and the Yoface deck represents their sort of first foray into pool and tech slide boards. Now, at first glance, it may look like the traditional kind of popsicle stick shape that the skateboarding industry has been spitting out for the past 20 years, but it's actually got some very innovative and unique design features to it.
Let's get started by going over some of the technical specifications for the board. These are the specifications as listed on the Bustin Boards website, but they're actually more like this. I pulled out the tape measure and figured out what the actual measurements are, and the width and the length are a little different than what is displayed on the website. So here you can see the board as it was when it was first delivered. You can see the concave is nice and deep here as the shadows move across from the top of the deck there. You can see very, very deep concave, and nice grip tape comes on the thing. These days, a lot of skaters are concerned about boards that aren't made in the United States, so this Bustin board is made in the good old US of A. And I thought this was kind of a cool feature. They actually have the length and the width printed right there on the deck. Here we can see a good side angle where you can see the depth of those wheel wells. You can see the nice edge on the grip tape. The factory applied grip tape is actually done very, very well. And here we can see another good shot of the grip tape. It's about as grippy as, say, mob grip tape, that sort of thing. So all in all, hope these shots give you a really good idea of what the stock Bustin board is like when it comes straight from Bustin Boards in New York City. These shots will show you the fully assembled deck. As you can see, I painted the top of the grip tape with the yellow and green stripe to match the graphic on the bottom of the board, and then put on the good old Autobahn wheels, tracker trucks, but we'll get to those later. First thing I want to call attention to is this right in here. This kind of little pocket is one of the really unique design features of this board. You can see that the wheel wells are so incredibly deep that it actually creates kind of a little pocket right in here where you can put your foot when you're doing tech slides. This is a much better overall shot of the bottom of the board, fully assembled and ready to go skate and do some testing and reviewing. So here's a better close-up of the trucks and wheels, and these are standard Tracker 161 trucks, but don't look for these in your local skate shop because I actually painted those myself so that they would match the board. So yeah, you can't find them with the yellow and green paint scheme. I did that myself. Here's the wheels, Autobahn Enduro 60mm 97A with a 101 core. They don't make those anymore, so they're kind of hard to find. And here we get another good side shot of the trucks along with the 1/8 inch riser pad underneath, which is something that I will talk about again a little bit later. And here we get a better shot of the painted grip tape, which matches the bottom stripes on the deck. And that orange skateboard is my all-time favorite pool deck. It is the Dead Piranha, made by Pool King and designed by Tony Alva. And as you can see, it's pretty close to the Bustin Boards Yoface deck in terms of size and shape and specifications. It has the exact same wheelbase, and as far as I'm concerned, any comparison for a skateboard for pool riding, the standard measuring stick against which I will compare things is the Pool King deck. Now here's something I found really interesting. Look at the bottom of the wheel well on the Pool King to the center of the axle. It's approximately 8 centimeters. Well, if you look on the Bustin Boards deck, you will see that the measurement is exactly the same. From the center of the axle to the highest part of the wheel well is about 8 centimeters. However, the Bustin Boards deck has a 1/8 of an inch riser pad, and as you can see, the Pool King board has a 1/2 inch riser pad. Now they have the exact same trucks, exact same wheels, the tracker trucks, the Autobahn wheels, Swiss 6 bearings. They have the exact same clearance, even though the riser pad on the Bustin deck is so much shorter. So that really goes to show just how incredibly deep those wheel wells are. And here again you can see a side-by-side comparison and really get a good idea of the kind of clearance that you're getting between the deck and the wheels with a 1/2 inch riser pad versus 1/8 on the Bustin board.
Now, while the technical specifications of a board are important, what really matters is, how does it ride? I mean, is it any fun? This board was created with the intention of being used in pools, being used as a street deck, and being used for downhill tech slides. And they actually succeeded in making a board which is that versatile by giving it a street shape, pool board dimensions, and downhill features. And I actually had the chance to ride this board for about the past 3 weeks at various skate parks around Los Angeles.
I took the Bustin deck to Verdugo Skate Park in Glendale, California, and rode the pool. And as I said, my orange Pool King is my all-time favorite deck, and I can honestly say the Yoface deck may be my new favorite. Based upon the marketing and product page that Bustin Boards put out, they are really proud of that wheel well design. By the way, this is the Cove skate park, this footage right here. This is the Clover Bowl at the Cove with the oververt pocket. Sorry, got distracted. What was I saying? Yes, the wheel well design. Bustin is very, very proud of the wheel well design because of how it locks your feet in place for tech slides. But I found that it also works great for skating transitions like this Clover Bowl here, also at Glendale Skate Park. My front foot actually locks against that bump, and I feel like I can get a much stronger pump like up the wall. Since I don't have to drive all my weight down, I can actually push it forward, and it makes a really huge difference. And this right here is dropping in the 9-foot pocket. You can see it's very smooth. It's just, I don't know, there's something about the design of this deck that it just really feels great, the way that your feet lock into the thing. The first time I ever rode the Bustin board was at Santa Monica Skate Park. Now, I've been skating Santa Monica anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week for about the past 5 years. So I know that skate park very, very well. I don't think I've ever gone faster on a board than I did on the Bustin deck. This is the pool at Santa Monica right here. And I could just haul on this thing. I mean, it was just, the board felt a lot faster. I was totally blown away by the speed. I mean, sure, new wheels and bearings may have had a lot to do with that, but I'm also convinced it was due to the shape of the deck. This right here is the Snake Run at Glendale. Now, riding this board reinforces something that I've believed for a very long time, which is that the length and the wheelbase are more important measurements for the performance of a board than the width. This board is only 9 inches wide. I know it says that it's 9.25, but like I said, once I pulled out a tape measure and measured it, it's really only 9. My Pool King is 10 inches, and I really feel no difference between the two decks. The Bustin board deck handles just as well, and it feels just as solid, just as stable. And in fact, thanks to the lower riser pads, I think it feels even more stable than the Pool King board. If I had to make a negative comment about the board, Bustin boards, Yoface, Bustin Yoface, what kind of a name is that? No skateboarder wants to be Bustin Yoface. You should have called it like, Wicked Tricks or something. Then you'd be Bustin Wicked Tricks. See, that would be a much better name. The marketing person who came up with the Yoface, yeah, not a good idea. And speaking of marketing, this here is the Bustin Boards website, and I was kidding, by the way, about the Wicked Tricks thing. That would be stupid. I still think Yoface is a stupid name, but Wicked Tricks would be stupid too. Okay, these are a bunch of different boards that Bustin offers, and the thing that I wanted to show off, because I think this is a super cool thing about Bustin, is that when you go to purchase any one of their decks, you can actually totally customize the graphics and the colors to whatever you want. So as we scroll down the page a bit here, you can see down at the bottom we have all these different graphic options, and as you mouse over them and click on them, you'll see the board change up on top. So we can switch to this tree graphic here, we got the Statue of Liberty, we can put that one up, and then after you pick whatever it is that you want, let's say if we go back to the tree, right, and then you come up here and you click on choose colors, it changes the bottom graphics to this palette of a bunch of different colors. So let's say, for example, you click on this, and then that makes those butterflies red, or we can click here on the green, which makes the tree part green. And if you click on any of these colors right here, the X's, that basically wipes out that layer and makes it transparent. So if you wanted, you could just turn off everything and put on, red butterflies. Or you could put on solid colors or stained colors as a background, so you could say make it solid blue as a background, or you could make it a stained blue background, or you can still see the wood grain through it. So this is a really, really cool feature of Bustin boards, and as I said, any board that they sell, you can actually totally customize all the colors like this. So a really, really neat addition to making your very own Bustin deck.
So not only did I want this video to have my opinion, but I wanted to have the opinion of a really experienced skater girl. And here we have Jules Lynn, who is the #1 pool skater in 2007, 2008, 2009. So I would say
for 2010, 2011, and then I was ranked #2 as well. So only one ranked down by a little bit of points.
So, in other words, if you're going to have a girl review a pool board, this girl knows pool riding. Yeah, so her opinion will actually matter. And those of you that are watching this and wonder what the board's like, this is what she thinks. What do you think?
Basically, after I rode the board, it's definitely a great board for getting some carbs, good cruiser board for that, just typical park board where you're going out just to have fun, really just rip some lines, maybe not so much like get all technical. It's just really a great board for just going out there and cruising. It seems locks your feet in well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Great car.
You like the way that the wheel well things, like how did that feel for your feet?
It felt really good. It felt like almost like surfing. You can really push the board. Like I almost felt like Christian Asoy when I was skating it. Like,
well, there's a great selling point right there. This board makes you feel like Christian Asoy, and everybody's going to want to go buy it. Yeah.
Like how Christian Asoy, like his style is just like surfy and flowy. Like that's just the idea, like the feeling that I got from the board was like a surfy, flowy, heavier, like more cruiser board. Definitely.
It wasn't until I was all done shooting footage with Jules that I realized she was skating the board backwards. Now, it doesn't really matter because the board is completely symmetrical. The nose and the tail are the exact same size. So, skating it backwards is the same as skating it forward. But there is a front and a back based on the way that I painted the board and everything. And so, yeah, she's actually skating it backwards, which I thought was really kind of funny. And just goes to show that, hey, the symmetry works.
Awesome. Well, thanks for offering your opinion on the Bustin Yoface deck.
Nice.
Well, I've respected Jules as a skateboarder for a very long time, and we actually met once or twice before, but I think this day was actually the first time we actually skated together. So it was a great honor to skate with her at Venice Beach and to get her opinion on the Bustin board's Yoface deck.
I've been a skateboarder for over 25 years at this point. I know it looks like I'm 22, but that's just has to do with, the 8th grade and evil Dungeons & Dragons packs. Anyway, I've skated all different types of skateboards over the years. You can see a few of them behind me. I've owned over 20 different boards, from longboards to street skating to pool skating to a little bit of downhill, a little bit of tech slides. I really didn't know what I was doing. Didn't do that too much. But the point is that the good old Bustin board is truly one of the most versatile boards that I've ever ridden in all my years of skateboarding. And, really subtle differences in the design of, I guess, any sort of action sport piece of equipment can make an enormous difference in the performance characteristics. And this deck, with this whole little thing with the wheel wells kind of being really high and having this pocket to get your feet into, it really sounds like marketing hype. If you look at the Bustin board's website, honestly, that's kind of what I thought it was until I actually rode the deck, and then I found that that subtle little change in the design was really, really amazing and made an enormous difference in the way that the board handles. And I think it's a fantastic thing that a lot of other skateboard companies will probably eventually start to copy. So I highly recommend the Yoface deck from Bustin Boards in New York City, and suggest that you get one so that when they do start to copy the thing, you can say, hey, I was one of the first. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you go out and pick up your own Bustin Yoface deck and enjoy that as well.